very good evening to all present here. My name is Ayushi and I'll be presenting my paper. Let's start with the introduction. So organizational success is a complicated phenomenon that is heavily influenced by the skill and enthusiasm of a company's employees. One of the most significant issues confronting most employers, both public and private, is how to inspire their workers to enhance efficiency. The most important thing for a company is workers' commitment and loyalty, which can be accomplished if they are paid better. Various researchers have proposed different methods for motivating employees at work. However, since human beings vary in terms of needs, culture, religion, and other factors, what motivates them differ as well. So, motivation is referred as a desire or a need. It is a state of mind that yearns for improvement, whether it be in oneself or in the world. Motivation provides the push and direction required to communicate with the world in an adaptive and open minded manner. The human desire to work to reap benefits, whether those rewards be physical, mental, social, or monetary, is referred to as work motivation. It is linked to skill and environmental conditions according to research, and it varies with age and individual psychology. Work motivation is described as a collection of energetic forces that originate within individuals as well as in their environment to initiate work related behaviors and to determine their type, direction, intensity, and duration in the professional domain. So employee motivation is very critical for a variety of reasons because it enables management to achieve company's objective. When workers are inspired to work, they are more likely to give their all to the task that they have been assigned to. Employee satisfaction is critical for any business because it contributes to their overall growth. Any effective company must be able to adapt to evolving business conditions. In order to do so, the company's employees must be extremely loyal and committed to respond quickly to those changes and to maintain smooth operations. So there were two objectives of this study. First was to study the motivation among two different departments, technical and administrative, and to study the different levels of motivation among employees with different years of experience in the same company. There were two null hypotheses. First, that there would be no significance difference between those two departments, and second, that there would be no significance difference between the levels of motivation among employees with different age of experience. In total, there were 100 male and 32 female between the age group of 19 to 47. The sample was collected from Ahmedabad city, Gujarat, from one media house. So the tool that was used in this study is known as the Work Extrinsic and Intrinsic Motivational Tool, which was developed in 2009 by a researcher. Due to COVID, the form was converted into Google Forms and links were shared with the subjects. The form consisted of 18 close-ended questions, which were further bifurcated into 6-factor structure. On your right, you can see the form that was created on Google link. So the different motivational factors that were in the form were A, motivation, which is the complete absence of both intrinsic and extrinsic type of motivation. External regulation is a behavior that is controlled by external incentive, just as praise, rewards, and punishments. Introjected motivation is a negative form of motivation which results from non-action, such as job being not done or done poorly. Identified regulation is a motivation that is internal and is based on the conscious values and what is important to the individual. In integrated regulation, the individual undergoes self-examination and then internalizes and assimilates the reason behind an action. And lastly, the intrinsic regulation is where the individual self-motivates and self-determines, which is driven by his interest, enjoyment, and satisfaction from the activity he or she is assigned in. So for the result, SPSS software were used and t-test was used to find the difference between two groups, where the mean for technical group was 68.45 and for administrative group was 62.88. ANOVA was used to find the significance between different age groups, and mean for people with more than 10 years of experience came out to be 70.33. People with experience between 5 to 10 years was 62.21, and those with less than 5 years of experience was 61.01. It needs to be noted that the current survey was taken during the peak of second wave of COVID, during which in the state of Gujarat, only 20% of employees were allowed in the office, which means only administrative staff was asked to come to the office. So the factor of risking their health and their lives every day in the time of pandemic have affected their work motivation. Whereas technical employees were at advantage as they don't require physical presence in the office to get their work done, so they didn't have to risk their lives. So for people in administration, getting work out of people, which is difficult in times of COVID, as people themselves or their family is sick. So hitting targets and getting goals was near to impossible for them. They also seen a drastic shift in the organizational structure from administrative to technical department, with a lot of power being handed over to technical due to increase in demand and work recognition from both employees and employers due to online working. It could be said that people with more than 10 years of experience have lived their life to their fullest and are either in the fourth stage or going towards the self-actualization in Maslow's need of hierarchy. With those less than 10 years of experience are either in their youth or I have just started their professional life, which means early 20s and 30s is all about experience and change, which mean that people will opt for different opportunities and not commit to a single organization. It needs to be said that people with more than 10 years of experience have already explored all their options and are already happy to do the same work they're doing for every day of their rest of their life. It could be concluded that employees of technical department had more higher work motivation than those of administrative department. And the people with more than 10 years of work experience had highest level of motivation than those with less than 10 and those with less than 5 years of experience. Lastly, there are a few suggestions that I would like to make in my research, that the research was done on a very limited sample house. Further research suggests a wider sample taken from different cities and different states. The research was also limited to a particular age group. Subjects of other age group can also be included in future research. Also, different departments could also be incorporated, like finance, accounts, R&D, marketing department, to curate of more finer and in-depth research. For more comprehensive measures of work motivation observation skills and interview sessions may also be used to curate more in-depth into the work motivation scenario. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Anyone has a question for this presentation? Thank you. We don't have a question for you. Thank you.